Host, broadcaster, voice artist, o maging public speaker. Ito na ang programang para sa iyo. Microphone Club Radio. Sama-sama tayong matututo ng mga tips at tricks para mag-succeed sa ating industriya. Microphone Club Radio. Kasama ang mga energetic, dynamic at passionate hosts na sina Mox Divera, JC Garcia, Beth Lauzon at ang buong pamilya ng The Microphone Club. Tuwing linggo, alas 10 ng umaga hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali. Dito lang sa DZRJ 810 AM. Mapapanood sa Facebook Live at YouTube sa TriMedia. Sa pamumuno ng founder ng The Microphone Club, Pocholo the Voice Master Gonzalez. At ang boses nito, Big Brian Ligsay. Microphone Club Radio. Powered by Pochology Academy and Creative Voices Productions.
All right, happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to the Microphone Club Radio Show, where we bring you 2 hours, usually 2 hours, but right now we're working on an hour and a half of inspiration, motivation, and empowerment, powered by Pochology Academy and Creative Voices Productions, and brought to you by our producer, the one and only voice master of the Philippines, Mr. Pocholo de Leon Gonzalez. I am your host, Mike Cunha, and Miss Beth Lauzon, my co-anchor for today, is going to be here in just a few more moments. We are, of course, the Microphone Club, the leading organization of voice talents, events hosts, voice actors, and voice artists in the Philippines. Here on the Microphone Club Radio Show, we will discuss the most interesting topics off the top of your head to the tip of your tongue. Catch us every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon only here at DZRJ 810 a.m. and streaming live on Facebook and YouTube from the TriMedia Center in Quezon City. Okay, so it's going to be a really exciting morning brunch for us, because right now we are joined by Tony Powers and Jem.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Good to have you here. Good to have you here. How are you feeling today?
Great. I'm quite nervous.
Nervous? Well,
but I'm very happy that because this is my first time here at the Microphone Club Radio Show, and I'm very happy.
We're very happy to have you.
Yes.
And of course, Jem.
It's my second time here.
Nervous. Real quick. Do you think it's a good thing for hosts to be nervous every time?
Yeah. It's part of it. Kasi diba, it's our way of really checking ourselves if we are doing good. But just go along and have fun, and you'll do well if you're here, especially in our radio show for today.
That's really helpful. Really helpful stuff. Okay, and of course, right now for our special guest, we are joined by none other than the entrepreneur, public speaker, and facilitator of the WOW Customer Experience Workshop. So that's more or less, giving you an idea of what we're going to be tackling today. We have Mr. Francis Miranda joining us.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
It's so fun to be here today. It's an early Sunday morning, but I'm hyped and excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time of the day to actually be here.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. So to get everyone up to speed with what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about customer as royalty, right? It's all about customer service and customer experience, whether it be partial or end to end. So we're going to be zooming in and zooming out at the same time at different aspects of customer service. Okay, so Mr. Miranda, can you tell us a bit more about?
Just call me Francis.
Or Francis. Yeah. Nice, diba? Yung palang customer service na yan, diba? So, Francis, tell us a bit about what you do.
Well, for the last 17 years, I've been in advertising. So I've had a long career in advertising. I started as a creative. I became a managing director. I became a chief operating officer. So when you deal in advertising, you deal with clients all the time. It's like it's like a 24/7 job sometimes. So you're always dealing with a lot of people. But last year when I turned turned 40, wow, I admitted on radio that I'm freaking 40
No,
years
it's
old,
okay.
right?
It's just a number.
Yeah.
I just decided to turn the tables and say,
I mean, look at this guy right now. Look at this guy. Pan the cameras to this guy. He doesn't look like anywhere near 40.
He looks very much younger.
Thank you.
Much younger.
So,
Mutual Admiration Society.
MAS. Okay, so I decided to turn the tables and say, I wanna retire from this. I took a 2-month vacation in New York just to do a little bit of soul searching, and when I came back, I decided that I really wanted to build a career as a public speaker. And at the same time as a person who wanted to inspire entrepreneurs. Because if I wanted to be if there's a segment that I wanted to focus on, it was really going to be on entrepreneurship. Because I really feel that this country will really benefit if more and more people become entrepreneurs. I mean, between you and me and everyone else listening, I'm tired that the wealth of this country is just kept by a few families or a few people. I think it's time that more Filipinos rise up from the ranks and become entrepreneurs. That's really big. That really became a passion of mine. And the thing that I love doing was really speaking. And I felt that this is the best way I would be able to share this gift with other people, this wisdom, this knowledge with other people. And on top of that, I'm a partner in 360 Fitness Club. So we have 7 branches all over, and we learned a lot about customer service there as well, because it's a gym and it's a service industry. So when you talk about service industry, there's absolutely no way for you to predict how people will behave. Most of the time we're very fortunate that we have good members, but occasionally you also get the typical terrorist of a member, the stressful one, the one. But then again, just like in advertising, you get good clients, you get stressful clients. But I always say, there's no such thing as a bad client, because every client that you get is still a good one. But there are difficult ones.
Yes.
And when you get difficult ones, the benefit is that you learn to be a better manager of them.
There you go.
That's what I've been doing.
Really helpful stuff. So when you say, just a couple of things that I caught. When you say that you were doing advertising 24/7, you were on call. Is that what you meant?
Well, technically you're not on call 24/7, but
inuwi mo yung trabaho mo.
But inuwi mo trabaho mo. I mean, I was telling my friends that I enjoyed my younger years in advertising, because in my younger years in advertising we just had desktops.
Right.
So it simply meant that we, when work is over at 5 p.m., tapos na siya.
Right.
But the advent of these phones, these smartphones, actually, they became like virtual prisons for us sometimes, because wherever you go, your clients are going to bug you. Even you're on vacation, they're going to constantly nag you and call you, and you gotta learn to figure out a way to manage them well, which means that not all the time do you say yes. You also have to learn to put boundaries. For example, I put very strict boundaries on what time I can be called.
Right.
When I retired, I make sure that my clients know that beyond 8 p.m. I'm not going to take work calls anymore. So if you need my advice or you need to talk to me, it will have to wait for the next day. Especially if I'm on vacation. If I'm on vacation, that's a no phone call. Send me an email, and depending on how urgent it is, I'll take care of it. Because most of the time, I've realized that there isn't really that. It's not like we're curing cancer, So most of the emergencies that come out are really just nervousness. But you learn to trust, and you learn to let go. So I think that's part of it.
Yes. That's really helpful stuff.
Yeah.
And Francis, we're really happy that you're here, because we were talking offline right before the show, and what we're going to do today is to tie up giving our customers, our clients, a great customer experience, and tying it up with hosting, and maybe even public speaking. Because truthfully, I've done a couple of talks, pero I think that's for me lang naman to. I think that's the step up. It's really more of from a host to public speaking. What would you say is the difference between the two? Or is it parang the umbrella is public speaking and then hosts are in there? What do you think?
I think you're right in saying that they're all under the umbrella of public speaking. So you have a host, and then on the side you also have you can say an inspirational speaker.
Right.
You can say that you have a corporate speaker. Mm-hmm. So they're different species under the same kingdom. Right. If we were to be scientific about it, right? Because in essence, the moment you're thrust up on a platform or on a stage, that becomes already a public speaking, unless you are not speaking and you're like moving around or something. Then it's not public speaking. It's public movement but the thing is, the moment you're there on stage, you take on the persona of a public speaker. I guess the difference in terms of the evolution, though, is what is the objective? Like, a host is supposed to help carry a program. Mm-hmm. Meaning a host presents you with the different signposts of the program, so you kind of know where you are. You're like the directional sign of the program. At any time, you know what part of the program I'm in. That's the job of a host. You're supposed to engage the audience, but it's not your content that's engaging them. It's really what's happening. Your job is to focus them to that. I always tell hosts, hindi ikaw yung bida dito, ha? Ang bida dito, kunyari, kung wedding host ka, ang bida dyan, yung bride and groom, wag mo agawin eksena nila.
Correct.
Diba?
And I think really that's what makes a good host, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, like, speaking of hosting, Jem mamaya, si Tony mamaya may gig pa yan.
Oo naman, yeah.
We're gonna talk more about customer service and zoom in on each of our guests right after this break. You're listening to the Microphone Club radio show. Don't go anywhere.
Ito ang DZRJ 8:10 AM. TriMedia, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
Gusto mo ba ng kakaibang healthy white glow? Yan ang power ng vitamin E sa skin. From Myra Vita White Facial Wash. May natural plant extract and vitamin E beads that gently burst for that healthy white glow in just 1 week. Fresh mag-Myra Vita White Facial Wash. Yan ang alagang holistic. Trusted quality healthcare. Unilab yan.
Kasiyahan sa bawat Pilipino. DZRJ 8:10 AM. TriMedia, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
This program is brought to you by TriMedia Pro Incorporated.
All right, welcome back, everyone. That was a short break, and right now we do have our my beautiful co-host.
Yes.
Miss Vet Lauzon. Miss Vet, hi.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. Magandang umaga po sa lahat ng ating listeners and viewers, especially to all the members of the Microphone Club.
Yes.
How are you today? Thank you, Tony and Jem, and of course, Francis.
Thank you
for being
Thanks for having me here.
Yes, of course.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. It's our pleasure.
No doubt.
Mike, thank you.
Oh,
go ahead.
No problem. And speaking of thank yous, I want to thank the folks over at Call Center Radio for having me on their show earlier. Tanya, to MA, and Frank Rizzo.
Yes.
Of course. Maraming salamat.
You were awesome.
Thank you.
And the rest of the team, definitely.
Yes. And
MA.
Speaking of an awesome show, that's exactly what we have for you right now. But before anything else, we'd like to remind everyone that we are live over DZRJ 8:10 AM online streaming, www.8trimedia.com. Like us on Facebook, 8trimedia. Follow us on Twitter, 8trimedia. Follow us on Instagram. Guess what? 8trimedia. The text line and Viber is 0939-914-3988. And our hotline is 412-0288. Live simulcast DYME Masbate, 107.1 Power FM, Puerto Princesa, Palawan, and 97.1 Wow FM. Rojas, Northern Palawan.
Wow. What a mouthful.
Awesome?
Really awesome. Amazing. Imagine the reach. I'm just glad that we are all able to gather here at this inside this radio booth to talk about things that really matter in terms of us doing what we do as hosts.
Exactly.
So, Francis, I want to zoom in on this. When you conduct the workshops, right? Wow customer experience. What is it about?
Well, oftentimes when you think about, let's say a brand, let's say you're an entrepreneur, you have your own brand, you think that it's all about, what is the message, what's the ad I'm going to do that will best promote this brand or best promote the service that I'm offering. But it dawned on me that a customer doesn't just think of a brand in terms of a message, but they think about it in terms of an experience. You experience a brand. You don't just read about it. You don't just see it. You experience it, and either you have a good experience or a bad experience. Like, for example, I'm going to share with you a couple of experiences, and let me know what you think I'm referring to, because I'm sure you guys probably have experienced this on your own. Okay, so very first, Kuya, pasensya na hindi ako pwede dyan. Malayo yan sa pupuntahan ko. Matraffic po. Pwede ba magdagdag ka ng 100?
Very familiar.
Very
familiar. Yeah.
What is it? So
it's a taxi.
It's a taxi. Very good. So we all know it, right? And then this other experience. Hi, Sir Jem. Good morning. Is the aircon just right? Are you okay? Are you comfortable? Would you like a candy? If it's okay, can we start our trip? What experience is that?
Oh, wow. That's ride sharing.
That's a ride-sharing experience, right? So we know the difference, therefore. We feel it because of what we experience. It's not because they had a great ad. It's not because somebody told us taxis are evil or whatever. It's really because we've experienced it on a day-to-day life, right? Another thing, let's say, hi, ma'am, sir. Hi, ma'am, sir, ano pong order ninyo? Where do you get that experience?
I'm picking up fast food.
Fast food. Fast
food, diba? So minsan nakaka-stress, diba? Parang hindi pa sila mag-e-effort na malaman ng kasarian mo, diba? But then you go to this other experience. Hi, may I have your name, please? Okay, can I have your order, please? Thank you, Mike. Your order will be available there. And by the third visit, they already know your name. So what experience is that?
That's
coffee shop.
A chain coffee shop. And no matter where you are in the world, no matter what language they will speak, that will be the same experience you will get. So therefore, it's an experience. We live brands through experiences, and we become loyal to them. We become good to brands, or we don't like brands based on the experience that we have.
Got it.
And there are bad experiences. We've all had our bad experiences, and there are good experiences. Good experiences make us consider a brand, but there are wow experiences. Wow experiences are those things that happen in a brand that really bagsak pa nga ka, that you've never experienced anything like it before.
You were sharing something like that to me earlier on before we hopped onto the show.
Yeah, like for example, in Amampulo, you go to Amampulo, you'd think that okay, it's a first class resort, granted, and you wonder, okay, why do you pay so much to go here? And I went there on a promo, by the way. So it's not because I had tons of money to burn, but there was a promo. I took advantage of it. So I went there, and the moment you step off the plane, one person is automatically assigned to you who knows you by name and will escort you to a golf cart that will bring you to your casita. And that for me was a wow moment, that they knew me by name. They called me by my first name, and I had never seen this person. The island, Amampulo, is a different island altogether. But what's fascinating about it is that this is a company run by Filipinos, so you automatically know that, okay, there's something about Filipino customer service also that is a level up from others. And those are wow experiences for me. These are things that I can't stop talking about. The very first time I tried ride sharing, I was wowed by the experience because, I was just curious about it. What is this thing about ride sharing? I downloaded the app, and then the very first vehicle that was ever given to me and it was free because it was still on a promo mode that you could, was a freaking expedition.
Wow.
And I paid less than I paid for I would normally pay a taxi like 300, 400 pesos.
A beat-up taxi at that, right?
A beat-up taxi that probably smells like BO and something like that. And then here, it was a nice, comfortable expedition just to myself. And I was wowed by that. And that made an impact on me. And the fact that it was so easy to, when you recommend friends, and they use a code, you get 200 pesos. That's another wow experience for me. So it really pushed me to send to everyone. Come on, use this. Because wow experiences, it's so easy for you to share them. And that's the type of customer service that I think makes a difference between getting you just as a regular customer to getting you as a loyalist, meaning a fanatic. There are people who will be fanatics for particular brands. They will support it to their death. Like Harley Davidson users, Ducati motorbike users, the community is so tight knit. They love it. It's almost like a cult, almost like a religion, right? And it's because they're taken care of. They're given a wow experience that they won't get from an ordinary motorbike company.
Understood. It's not really more of it's not just the incentivization, it's not just the sense of exclusivity, but the immersive experience altogether.
And I have to agree talaga that it's also more on adding your personal touch siguro. Kasi when the person feels valued, or when the person feels very important, they treat you as really a partner rather than you just a regular customer. Kasi there's a difference between it, diba? Parang if you make the other person feel that they are more important than your job, then that's I think where the great customer service comes in.
I'd like to Go ahead.
I'd like to build on what Jem said, because sometimes there comes a point that when you're dealing with customers for a long time, aabot ka sa point na minsan in your mind, you subconsciously think na, buwisa talaga to, nakakairita, diba?
It's true.
But the truth is, you can never fake what happens. So you have to really change a mindset that you cannot even think that. Because when you think it, it manifests it. There's no way. Like what they say, ex abundantia cordis, os loquitur. From the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. So therefore, what you're feeling there, if you feel na pinsala or yung customer na dumating sa'yo, perwisyo sa buhay mo yan, you will treat him like perwisyo. At mararamdaman niya yan subconsciously. So you just have to figure out na, okay, I'm called here to love this customer. This might be a difficult customer, but nonetheless, sige, I will love him. And even yung mga difficult ones, you win them over eventually.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Like, that's really important. It's imperative to change your frame of mind. If you are to be in this business, you can't fake it. Diba? You can only fake it. If you can only fake it so much. Diba, Ms. Smith? Like for example, all the good, at least the good hosts I know, really, it's a matter of attitude. Diba, no? Diba? Kumbaga, parang if you are to learn, if you are to want longevity in this business talaga, you have to change your attitude. Let's go back to Tony. Tony, when you started out hosting, by the way, how long have you been hosting?
Professionally, I started 4 years ago, but I started during high school days when one of our teachers taught me to host our prom night.
Wow.
Accidentally, he discovered my talent in hosting.
Accidentally
pa yun.
Ano pa yun?
Diba, Ms. Smith? Pero all modesty aside, why do you think you were tapped for that event?
I am not sure about his
like if you had an answer to that question, what would you answer?
Maybe because during high school days, I used to join a lot of public speaking in competitions. So, pwedeng napanood niya ako doon one time, and based on his observation, baka nakita niya na, Tony has potential to become a host someday. Pero ako talaga, hindi ko talaga inisip na magiging host ako. And that's the reason for me kung bakit ko siya sinasabi na accidentally. Kasi even ako, I never imagined myself to become a host.
And I can see it in your expression right now. You're very happy to be one. Right. So now, in those 4 years of you hosting, what would you say is the most, customer service wise, right? Customer experience wise, what would you say are, if there's one thing that sticks out for you na pinaka-importante sa'yo when it comes to dealing with clients or taking care of your clients, what would it be?
That's very important, yung patience. So, according nga sa patience is a virtue. So, parang very important talaga sa atin na we practice patience all the time, most especially when we're dealing with our clients. Kasi may mga clients tayo na may pagka-choosy or OC, and sometimes may mga clients din tayo na hindi sila okay sa idea natin. So, we have to deal with them as much as possible in a manner na talagang mararamdaman nila na hindi tayo nambabastos or hindi natin binabaliwala yung gusto nila mangyari. Because of course, customers, hindi naman always right, pero syempre most of the time we have to agree with our clients dahil sila yung magbabayad sa atin.
Yes, we are providing a service. Right before we go to commercial break, Jem, I'd like to ask you. I'm sure a time has come when your patience was tested by a client.
Yes,
How do you deal with it?
Well, siguro kasi as a corporate trainer by profession, I also handle different customer service training for our employees.
Okay.
Because they are our frontliners. So siguro the challenge that I have really is when an irate customer is already there, and then when he or she starts speaking, parang your emotions will really get the best of you at times. Parang you tend to defend yourself, or you tend to defend the company that you're working for. But at the end of the day, you try to put yourself kasi in the shoes of your customer in order to understand their perspective. Ano ba talaga yung gusto nila at kailangan nila at that moment? Kasi it's more about you serving them. It's more about you serving their needs and wants rather than putting yourself first. Kasi if you always put yourself first, then that's not great customer service. When in fact, when you put them first, their needs and their wants, and always thinking what is the best for them, then I think that's where you can put great customer service every time you deal with them.
Ang ganda.
Tama.
Ang ganda. I think we've gone full circle here kasi yung sinabi kanina ni Francis na it's not about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Diba, Miss Beth? So,
Tama.
we are going to continue with the conversation, and I have actually I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you, Miss Beth. Later after.
Yes, as we move on to that, let's have a commercial break muna, and we'll be back.
Ito ang DZRJ 8:10 AM. TriMedia, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
We deliver. Stand out and be the best. With 8 TriMedia Pro Incorporated, your way to infinite possibilities.
Makibahagi sa bawat talakayan. Ihayag ang inyong reaksyon sa mga programa ng TriMedia sa aming mga social media accounts. TriMedia-TV sa Facebook, TriMedia DZRJ 810 sa Twitter, at TriMedia sa Instagram. Makiisa sa bawat programa ng TriMedia sa social media, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino. Makabayang Pilipino. Isang mensahe ng paggunita sa pambansang araw ng mga bayani ng DZRJ 810 AM. TriMedia, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino. Pagdiriwang ng paniniwala, pagsasama-sama, pakikipagkapwa, at pagdiriwang ng sakripisyo. Katuwang ang TriMedia, himpilan ng bawat Pilipino, sa pagdiriwang ng banal na Idil Adha. Eid Mubarak! Ito ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino. TriMedia, DZRJ 810 AM.
This program is brought to you by TriMedia Pro Incorporated.
All right, 11:03 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful Sunday. Jolina is gone.
Yeah.
Right, I'm happy about that.
I hope she won't come back.
Oh, she's not coming back.
She's not welcome. Tama, Tony.
So yes, to everyone who just tuned in, we are talking about how customer is royalty to us in the events industry. So Jem was last talking. I was asking Miss Vet offline if there's a bridezilla, no? Have you ever come across a groomzilla?
Yes.
Oh, how was it like?
I have actually. I've gone through. I've worked for a bridezilla, an extreme one, and a groomzilla as well.
Wow.
So, but before I share my experience, I would like to say hi to Tony Belaro. Hello, guys.
Hi, Tony.
The core com of the TMC of the Microphone Club. Maraming salamat, Anna. You're an angel to us.
Anna.
Oh, over. Even she is just not around. She seems like she's just right beside me. Ganun lang siya. But she's gonna be with us next week. So, abangan natin.
Yes,
Siya naman ang sasalang dito, Mike. So, bahala kayo magkulitan muna.
And may question din si Anna mamaya for Francis. Let's find a sweet spot for that.
But I believe it has been already addressed to. Kasi in the process of your discussion, somehow yung question niya, parang swak yung shinare niyo kanina about if yung genuine, if you can really serve a customer genuinely, even if you don't like what you're doing, something like that. But you dealt with it earlier, so sabi ko, swak yung question. Now, that's why she said, I agree. It's really a matter of perspective. You can't fake it. That's what Anna said. And hello to Christine from New York. Of course,
that's my sister.
Sabi ko, binati na siya ng kapatid. Most probably, na-gets ko naman.
Thanks for watching, Christine.
And MA, thank you for watching. You had an awesome show earlier, so congrats, guys. And we also have Bryson is also watching another show. He's actually hosting one, or rather co-hosting one. And JC, my coach.
Hi, JC.
Yes.
Idol JC
Garcia. Empathy, sabi niya. Filipinos have a different way of showing it. We are more action-oriented.
Totoo.
Which is true. Totoo naman yun.
Parang mas mahaba pa yung may Seymour pa.
Meron pero mamaya babalikan natin yan. Also, Shano and the rest of the team. Jessica Tahonera. She is an event host and looking forward to hear the topics today. Hi, Tony Power. Wow.
Hello, Jessica.
Power na power talaga, Tony. I like your name, indeed. So, going back to the question, I have dealt, for more than 12 years now. Parang 12 years na pala yun. I have, and Groomzilla, very unusual, but he did actually created this monster out of me because of how he dealt with how I'm supposed to do things. Now, I proposed this and that. The bride would always agree, but she can't say anything. She would just nod. While the groom said, "No, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. No, it's not necessary." So, since one time, I was in the process of doing the program now. I introduced them. They all had fun. Now, it's a time for us to pray. And actually, he didn't want to pray. But hey, we're all Filipinos here, and people will be expecting me to pray because we're about to have dinner. So I requested everyone to please stand and let's acknowledge the presence of the Lord and thank the Lord for the blessing. And when I asked that, the groom was whispering to the bride, "I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to pray. No prayers." He was saying like that. I could hear him. And then the bride was like, "Miss Vet, can we not pray?" Sabi ko, "Why? We're about to eat food. And your family will definitely look forward to acknowledging and thanking the Lord for the food." And I said, kasi for sure, kasi there was a time that I almost forgot to pray. And one of the guests actually came up to me, "Miss, di pa tayo nagpipray." Alam mo, kasi we are Filipinos.
It's part of our culture,
Exactly. So ako naman, in my conviction as a Christian, I would always pray whatever happens. So it was like a conviction that should I be thanking the Lord to pray, or should I be following this? I don't know what am I going to call him?
So it's really more of a culture barrier or a cultural difference, right?
Exactly.
Obviously, this person is not Filipino,
No.
and nothing's wrong with that. I mean, they are the client. Pero I mean, how would you work around that, Francis? Like, for example, if you're not kumbaga parang you're not really necessarily doing a bad job, but it's just that you have different kinds of customers. What would be like a safe play on that? How would you have approached it?
Well, I've had the weird experience of being asked to lead a non-specific prayer, because apparently in the dinner that the wedding was going to be held in, it was not just Christians. They were predominantly Christians, but we had Muslims, we also had non-believers at all, right? So it was I was requested by the groom as well, if not to slant it towards towards a Christian prayer.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh,
And wow, okay, so how do you balance that, right? So for me, I just essentially talked about gratitude in general, that we have to be grateful for the food that we have. Let's close our eyes and be grateful for the food that we have, to speak to whoever power that you believe in, to give thanks, because and to give thanks at the fact that we are all gathered here. But it's hard, and I guess part of being a host means that you always have to be thinking on your feet, especially because things don't necessarily go as planned. I'll share with you one thing. So I'm a student of Third World Improv, so it's an improv class. I also help them out when we do team buildings and stuff. But the reason why I loved improv, I entered improv with the simple mindset that I wanted to just have fun, to do something different. But while I learned so much lessons from it, and there are two lessons I think that we were taught in improv that makes a difference when you are a host. You think that when you're talking about improv, the most important thing for you is to know what's witty to say or what's the funny thing to say. But actually, I discovered it's not that. The most important thing is to listen. You have to be mindful and you have to listen. Because if you're always thinking about what you need to say, you fail to listen to what the person will prompt you to. And that the same is true also with us as hosts. We have to be very, very visible beyond us thinking of what's the best way to say something. We have to figure out and try to listen to what does my client need at the moment and how can I address it. I might not totally agree with what the client needs, but I have to figure a way to move in that direction, to still insert my point of view, but at the same time make the client feel that their point of view has been listened to. Because another lesson that we learned in improv theater is you always say yes and. You never say no. When somebody tells you, inay, kunyari you're in a scene together with somebody and the person says, inay, ano gagawin natin? Lalaki ka. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, hindi, lalaki ako. Hindi, magiging inay ka sa panahon na yun kasi you accept You accept yes and ganun din yun. Minsan, may mga bagay. Ako, I just have, the idea lang is, before I do a hosting gig, I have to make sure that I'm cleared with who do I get instructions from. Kasi, it's true that you have to listen to the instruction, pero you need to listen to the right giver of the instruction. And that has to be made clear. Kasi minsan, darating ang isang kamag-anak sa'yo, will demand something from you, hindi pala alam ng bride yun or ng groom. Suddenly, you violate that. So, ako, my personal principle is always, as the coordinator, I get all the instructions for. Kasi even the bride and groom, minsan ngarag yan eh. So the best way is to really establish that when you're meeting the bride and groom for the very first time, or the debutante, diba? When you're meeting them for the very first time, tell them that, para the program flows smoothly, there's one director, and the director is the coordinator. So if you want to make a correction, pass it through the coordinator. Para hindi tayo nagkakandaan.
True. No? That would be a good suggestion, or let's just say an act. That would be a good act. In my case, that time, there was no coordinator. They did not have any. In as much as I would like to encourage them, because I know it would be best if everything would be in order, managed, and stuff. But there was none. So in that case, on the spot, the groom actually didn't want me to pray, but it's a given scenario that these people, 100%, let's just say
95%,
4 persons right there belongs to him. 4. Against 96 out of 100, just in case.
So you're like an alcohol, 99%.
Yes.
1% lang yung hindi.
So what I did was, I asked them already to stand, and I told them that the groom the groom does not really agree for us to pray. I said that.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
I have to because there's just some history that he's being so disrespectful already. So I just said the groom does not want us to pray. It's just that in our culture we should. So I'm going to give you a minute of acknowledging the presence of the Lord.
That's nice. That's nice.
And we kept silent.
That's nice.
For a few seconds. After that, let's give them another warm round of applause.
Wow.
Nice.
You break the ice.
I just made something that should be somehow as a compromise, right?
Yes.
So that's what I did around it.
Galing.
So everyone who's watching us right now, sa lahat ng mga nagsasabi or nag-aakala na kapag nag-host ka, laway lang ang puhunan mo.
No.
Diba? There's so much more to it. It's more than just looking at the script and following a script. Like what Francis said, you have to think on your toes. Always be spontaneous. And the other thing that parang we have similarities with hosts at musikero. Kahit bokalista ka pa, ang musikerong bokalista, ang asset niyan hindi boses, ang boses niyan ang asset niyan tenga. Kailangan makinig ka.
Correct.
So yun, parang how do you feel about how do you feel about being put on the spot? Nangyari na ba yun sa'yo? Can you expound on, like, for example, yung mga changes that happen inside an event? Parang what was the most weird one that ever occurred to you?
Actually, sir, parang mas nasusubok yung aking pagiging host pag may mga on-the-spot situations na parang biglaan or may sudden changes. Pero meron lang akong one thing na parang rule sa mga coordinators. If there is sudden changes, sabihin nila sa likod ko, yung hindi nila ako bibigyan ng instruction in front of me because mabablock nila ako dun sa mga audience or sa mga nanonood sa akin. So, very welcoming naman ako in terms or sa mga ganyang bagay kasi part of the job yan yung mga sudden change or mga ganyang mga on-the-spot situations.
No doubt. Comes with the territory, you know.
Yes.
Francis, I feel like you have something to say about that.
Okay, well, my personal experience was a very, very weird one. So, for those of you guys thinking about getting married, please never ever use birds anymore because it's like a nightmare.
Good, okay.
It's like a nightmare, okay? So I hosted a wedding where there was your typical Filipino kalapate thing, right? In a bell sort of thing, right? And of course, you have a script, like what is the symbolism of these birds, right? So you have to read it and the script says, the birds are a symbolism of the couple's love, and as they are released to the heaven, so does the love of the couple go fly up to the heaven. So 1, 2, 3, they open the bell, one dove flies out, the other one is dead. It falls dead on the floor. And can you imagine? It died. It died in the bell. It suffocated in the bell, right? So of course, when I was standing there, as in I really remembered the time it took. It was like 5 seconds of me recovering. It was like 1, 2, and in the back of my mind, what the toot am I gonna say, right? And finally, after 5 seconds, but I believe that one has enough love for both of them. But oh my gosh, you gotta be used to these things, diba? You gotta be used. There was one time I was a commentator in the mass, and the priest was blessing them with the holy water. Nabitawan ang holy water dispenser, tumama sa groom.
Oh my gosh.
Diba? And I couldn't help it. I said, "Oh my God!" That's exactly what I said, and it was,
and you said that. Oh
and I said it, and the mic was on, so it was like, "Oh my God, God is here."
God is all over you.
And these are just the things that happen. You just deal with it with grace, and you deal with it with humor, I suppose. You try to diffuse it with humor. Filipinos naman kasi, one of the things that is great about the Filipino culture, I think, is we poke fun at everything and anything anyway. So if a major screw up occurs somewhere, wala lang, just deal with it with grace, crack a joke. Even yan. I think for a host, it's important for a host to realize that you will make mistakes. So wag kang maging mayabang na hindi ako magkakamali. But how do you deal with it when you make a mistake? You deal with it by self-deprecating yourself. Kasi if you're so proud na parang when you're there nagkamali ka, parang you have to figure out a way to defensively ano lang, patawa lang, 'di ba? Parang okay, this is what happened. I'm trying to remember what was a major boo-boo that I made as a host in terms of saying something that was inappropriate. But
ang sarap magpakwento sa'yo, Francis, ng mga experiences mo,
ano lang talaga siya? Laugh it off. That's the best.
I think we won't have enough time to really go through all your stories, but I would like just to go back to all our greets, of course, from our live show. Thank you so much to Jessica Tajonera again.
From here, I can tell they're loving Francis right now.
They are, definitely. And Anna said, actually, for prayer, I would make an exception for corporate events. Oh yeah, naintindihan ko yan. Some companies have an explicit policy on ensuring no mention of religion or politics. Na-mention din yan.
If it's a corporate, you have to.
Of course, a given na yan. But it's still different for a wedding.
Yeah.
It's a social, rather, it's a family event, you know. So anyways, sabi ni Anthony, OMG Anna, appear. Francis is good, no? Amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Hello, Ninong daw. Ayan, sabi ni Jeline.
Hi, Jeline.
And of course, I'd like to say hi to Morris. Ayan, Mox. Thank you so much, Morris. And si June, my good friend and an event planner. Hi, Miss Ganda naman. Wow. Love you talaga, June. And of course, my one and only, Marvs. Get well soon, okay?
Get well soon, sir.
Get well soon. At aminado naman si Mike na pugi siya. And of course, I love you back. And hello daw, sabi ni Marvs kay Ana. Tamis. Anyways, going back, Giru, thank you. Sir Francis, sabi niya, the best, funny, but we feel
Hi,
you.
Giru.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Hello, Giru. Thank you so much. And Anne says, Mike, remember, no doves.
Alam na.
No doves.
Yes, ma'am, you got it.
Can I also add, please, no butterflies, because there was a wedding where they released butterflies and it got sucked into the air conditioning.
Oh my God.
So,
really?
Yeah, because the air conditioning has like vacuum vents where the air comes in, so the butterflies started fluttering around and zook, nahigup siya. So no to butterflies as well.
Yeah, most venues don't actually allow the butterflies nowadays to be released because they, especially if they have plants around.
Garden venues.
Yes.
They'll eat the leaves and stuff like that.
So they lay eggs and ang hirap na nilang kontrolin. So anyways, ayan, going back to our topic. Nakakatuwa naman yung ating mga experiences.
So,
sarap.
I think this is a question that goes for everyone who wants to answer it. Even for the seasoned hosts, what are some of the common mistakes or the common boo-boos that you still see them doing?
I think siguro one wedding that I observed is not calling the proper designation for the guests. Like for example, if they want to be called as doctors or moms or sirs or attorneys, some hosts would like disregard it for some reason. But for some reason, the bride and the groom wants it to be mentioned because they feel that it is something special for their guests as well, and they deserve to be acknowledged that way. So I think it helps when you ask questions like that prior to the event, because it also makes you feel that they are your customers. You should be able to be sensitive about that rather than you just doing things on your own. Because if you don't do that, or if you don't ask good questions with your clients, with the coordinators, parang it helps you kasi to know much more about your client and how to serve them well rather than doing things on your own. So I think that's one of the most common boo-boos that I see in some hosts whenever they host events.
I mean, I just want to add on to what Jem said, because I like what he said about asking questions. I think that's an integral part of being a host. When you're actually sometimes defined by the questions that you ask more than what you say. Because, for example, like I was sharing, there are moments that, you know, when you look through the list, there are family names there that you wouldn't know how to pronounce. Or even worse, they're an awkward family name. Like, there are Filipino family names that are awkward. Oh my gosh, how am I going to say this, right? And it doesn't hurt to ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. Now, how do you pronounce this? Can you ask the bride, how do you pronounce this? Because you don't want to go up there. It's awkward now when you're there and then you realize you'll panic all of a sudden. Parang, oh my God, I don't know how to pronounce this, right? So it's important to ask questions.
Yeah, wag mahihiyang magtanong.
Wag mahihiyang magtanong. Walang namatay sa pagtanong, di ba?
Readiness also matters. Before you go on stage or before you start talking, you also have to get yourself prepared. You have to get yourself prepared. So prior to that, ask the coordinator, is this right? This is how it's mentioned? Kasi there are times when you thought you knew already, magkaiba pala ang stress ng bawat syllable ng I forgot that last name na.
Oh, there was. I mean, it was an anatomical part of a man. So
there was a time that this surname was mentioned this way. So by the second time that I encountered that same spelled last name, when I mentioned it, it's wrong. I mean, why? It's supposed to be mali po kasi ganito. So, nasa stress lang pala.
Yeah.
Bawa, salamat. Yung isa naman, salamat.
Salamat.
Okay. So, I learned from that na I should really, before kahit na mukhang technically tama naman yung pagkaka-mention mo, you know it's going to be right, but you really have to double check again. Kasi mamaya i-correct ka na naman. Parang, may mga ganun pala, no?
Siguro a check also. I don't know kasi because I notice this from a lot of starting out hosts, but maybe it's also possible that as we become professional hosts, as we become more expert hosts, this mistake could accidentally travel with us, and it's nice to constantly be reminded of it. This idea that really when you're hosting, hindi ko yung bida doon. So always it's your job to make the couple look good. It's your job to make the event look good. It's your job to make the debutant look good. So it's not all about you finding attention person. I'm so witty, I'm so funny, I'm so whatever. No, it's really about you using that wit to put the attention back to the couple, back to the debutant, back to the event. Because sometimes being on stage, it can be such an intoxicating thing, and let's admit it, because when you're in the limelight, you tend to want to hug it. So it's very so it's always a heart check for people whenever, for me at least, when I go on stage, and it's a lesson I'm also trying to be more conscious about recently. Na when the moment you step up on stage, you gotta check your heart na sino ba talaga ang bida dapat dito pag sampa mo sa stage na yan. Iba kasi pagka-host, iba kung inspirational or motivational speaker ka. Kasi kunyari, when I'm inspirational motivational speaker, ako yung bida at that moment kasi you're the highlight of that particular event. But when you're a host, hindi ikaw yung bida.
Definitely.
Hindi ikaw yung bida.
Totoo. At saka if we were to talk behind the scenes, no, if Francis were to say, okay, pag nagkasalta na siya yung bida, but when he was making those like slides, right? Yung presentation mismo, he didn't have himself in mind. He had his audience in mind.
Exactly.
So I think that's what makes one a great host or a great public speaker or motivational speaker in general. So, Francis, I'd like to ask you this question. We'd like to, as quick as we can, go end to end with this. So, let's say that this is the scenario. We're gonna take this. So we're gonna start from point A and take this home wherever home is. So, let's say we're all active on social media. We're all trying to, promote our services, and then a client taps us. So parang when they inquire about free ka ba on this date, what are the rates, kumbaga, would it be advisable for you to have, say, a template that you use, or would you rather personalize it on a case to case basis?
Well, there's a benefit kasi to having a template because it puts an objectivity to it. It also positions you as a professional because there are moments, like ako, admittedly, whenever it's my friends who ask me to host a wedding, I tend to give a discount, if not give it for free. Pero ang exchange nun is, I don't give a gift na. Kasi my hosting is the gifting, diba? But I think it helps to put a template there so that at least people are aware na pagka freelancer ka, hindi freelancer. That you're doing this as a business. And importante kasi yung mindset na yun na especially for the hosts that are going out there. If you don't treat yourself as a professional, neither will your clients treat you like a professional. So part of it is that kahit na magkaibigan kayo, have a contract para everything is clear na kahit na discounted siya, kahit na sabihin mo ang normally, so you can even put in the contract that my rate is 10,000 pesos, but for you, because you're my friend, I'll just charge you 5,000 pesos. So it's written there, not special friend discount or what's that word that I use? I don't use friend discount. Courtesy discount there. So the courtesy discount. But when there's a contract, they know that you are a professional. And when it comes to your hosting, it has to be very clear that even if it's a friend or a family member, you have to treat it like a professional. Because ang personal mistake ko dati was that pagka-friend, I would sometimes not prepare as much because ang feeling mo nga, kaibigan naman, I can wing this. Pero it dawned on me na may mga sabit ako sa wedding precisely because I took for granted that idea. So ngayon, dahil may kontrata, pagsampa mo sa entablado na yan, kailangan rehearsed ka, alam mo yung sasabihin mo, 'di ba? Kasi
tama.
kasi you're professionals eh. We are all professionals in this. So as professionals, we have to behave like professionals.
Tama yan.
Maganda may rate card.
I agree with you.
Oh, may rate card ka kung ilang araw na, kung ilang oras na hosting. Kasi may mga hosting na no, like I recently got a booking for a 3-day conference.
Yes,
so 2 of those days ako yung host noon, the first day and the last day of that. So yung contract ko is on a per day basis na kung gusto mo ako mag-host nung pangatlong araw, dagdag lang ng konti.
Yes, I agree. Well, anyways, we're gonna move on to the rest of our kwentos, and of course, kung may time pa tayo, we'll talk more about how do we maintain good relationship with our clients. Siyempre, we've already done yung may length now relationship, diba?
Yes.
Technically. So we're gonna go through that and more of the greetings from our listeners when we get back. Just a short commercial break.
Ito ang DZRJ 810 AM TriMedia, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
Gusto mo ba ng kakaibang healthy white glow? Yan ang power ng vitamin E sa skin. From Myra Vita White Facial Wash. May natural plant extract and vitamin E beads that gently burst for that healthy white glow in just 1 week. Fresh! Mag-Myra Vita White Facial Wash. Yan ang alagang holistic.
Trusted quality healthcare. Unilab yan.
Deliver. Stand out and be the best with 8 TriMedia Pro Incorporated. Your way to infinite possibilities.
This program is brought to you by 8 TriMedia Pro Incorporated.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, good morning.
On the clock.
11:30, half hour more.
Ang bilis ng oras.
That is correct. So before we proceed, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank the following for making this show possible. Creative Voices Productions, the leading voiceover services company in the Philippines, responsible for producing thousands of commercials, dubbed anime and telenovelas, video games, audiobooks, audio-video presentations, and more. Creative Voices is also the home of the first and only voice acting school in the country, the Philippine Center for Voice Acting. Since 2005, the school has produced over 1,000 graduates and can claim about 90% of voice artists or broadcasters and hosts and voiceover talents in the Philippines are graduates of this school. We'd also like to thank the Patrology Academy, a training organization with a mission to inspire, motivate, and empower Filipinos towards greatness, excellence, and success. They conduct trainings, workshops, and team-building programs for all types of organizations such as private companies and schools to help individuals lock their potential and become the best version of themselves. Creative Voices and Patrology Academy were both founded by the most recognized voice artist in the Philippines, Pocholo the Voice Master Gonzalez. Pocholo Gonzalez is also a veteran radio broadcaster, book author, internationally awarded youth advocate, in addition to being a highly sought-after voice director, trainer, and motivational speaker. Again, thank you to Creative Voices, Patrology Academy, and to the Voice Master of the Philippines, Pocholo Gonzalez, for making this show possible.
Yes, exactly. And a special shout out and happy Sunday to the 8 TriMedia's Action Lady. Ayan. Miss Kay Dacer. Maraming salamat po. And sa aming program manager, top manager of our programs, kay Mr. Nestor Doria. Maraming salamat po for supporting the Microphone Club show.
Thank you po.
Yes. Anyone else that you'd like to thank?
Oh, me. I'll know. Well, I'd like to greet my family in New York. So that's my sister Christine, her husband Tommy. They're watching right now. My sister Jennifer, and my other siblings Claire, John Paul, and Mary Ann. So they're watching straight from New York. I also have friends from Canada, from Vancouver right now, Lauren and JP. Hello, everyone. And our friends here from the Philippines, Marlon, Marge, Jace, Marvin, and Gabe Mercado from Third World Improv.
I don't guess si Gabe Mercado.
Okay ka ba chan, di ba? Very good, di ba?
So he's also a great actor.
He's an amazing actor, but he's an amazing teacher as well.
I'm sure. So yeah, back to Francis, kunyari magkaibigan tayo, right? Tapos kakasal na ako.
Okay. Yo, dude, pare. Congratulations, kakasal ka na, dude.
But parang, what's a good courtesy discount? Because we all have a lot of friends who will eventually tap us in the future.
Tama.
So parang, does the amount come from them or does it come from you?
Well, there are two ways to skin the cat. Minsan kasi, ang anuhin mo dyan is, you ask them, magkano ba budget mo? I think it's important kasi, especially when you do this professionally, it's important that your friends are aware that you are doing this professionally. Kasi nga, just like when my friends have a business, I support it. I buy stuff from them. So, my business is this. So, therefore, this is how I earn a living. So you ask na lang, magkano budget mo? And then whatever amount they give, you discount off that na lang. Iba kasi pag sabi niya, ay hindi mo pwedeng free. Yon. So pag kailangan anuhin nyo yan.
So how do you deal with that?
Ano ko dun sa, well, I'm okay lang to receive an honorarium or ito na gift ko sa'yo. Pwede din yon. Kasi nga, di ba? I mean, thank God naman, hindi pa naman ako ninong sa kasal. So hindi pa naman ganun level yung cash gift na kailangan ibigay. But yun, I mean, if my being there as a host will make the wedding a lighter thing, I think that's a good gift and a good gift in itself.
No doubt.
Diba?
So for example naman, when meeting with clients naman who have not really confirmed that they have gotten you for their event, or regardless of what kind of event it is, does it make sense to go out of your way and actually meet these people, or parang mas okay ba if we secure their buy-in first before we meet them, and then we can show you how the program is gonna run, yada yada and all that.
Ako personally, sir, during the first meeting, I asked them to sign the contract na agad. Kung if they are really serious to get me as their host, I asked them to sign the contract, then down payment, so that I can reserve na yung date para sa kanila.
Lock the date.
Yes, and then right after that, I will discuss the program, and kung meron sila mga times na gusto nilang magpa-consult or may consultation, so I do that for free. So part na yun ng package ko, yung consultation as their host. Pero before I do, bago yung program presentation and all, kailangan muna as the host, masecure ko muna na yung contract ko, down payment, kasi i-reserve ko na talaga sa kanila yung date so sayang naman kung hindi pala sila tutuloy.
Correct. So this was a question that was posted by by Tony Vilaro. Na parang you have to make sure that you have enough material on your social or Facebook page, whatever it is. You have to make sure that you have enough material for the clients to be able to make that decision right away, even before.
Exactly. Tapos naalala ko nga rin, one of our Mikeys is what we call the members of the microphone.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Like a hidden Mikeys.
One of our Mikeys actually just posted recently about an experience, speaking of securing yourself when it comes to a contract or an agreement. Nagkataon na yung client, kilala niya, the daughter. This is actually a corporate event, but the daughter was the contact person. So they talked about the program already. They actually made sure that all the details are talked about and discussed and all well planned. And then she actually said na she wasn't booked. I mean, walang contract. They haven't signed anything. No down payment at all. But she actually was parang trustful lang siya dun sa contact niya who has become her friend. Na they will just do things like that lightly and things will be all right. So on the day of the actual event, something happened. Na the daughter ang contact, diba? She went to the dressing room to get herself prepared, and then the mom of the daughter, the mom came in, most probably the owner of the company or something. And then she was like whispering dun sa isang kasama niya, sino yan?
Oh my gosh, I think I know this. This happened recently, right? Like very recently. Okay.
So yon, yes, it happened like that. To the point that
the host was my student before.
Small world. All right. Wow. Well, she's actually enjoying her day with her husband right now.
Yes.
And you deserve that break.
They're in the beach, if I'm not mistaken.
Serve that break, Nadine, and we all love you. We're gonna be backing you up when that happens.
Go, Nadine.
Exactly. So that happened. The client was actually shouting at her. So just for the listeners of awareness, this happened just recently to one of our hosts, one of our hosts. So, in that case, doon namin nalaman na, hindi pala siya, wala silang contract or anything, no agreement. But yung kanyang, naging trustful lang talaga siya dun sa client. Kasi, kilala eh. Tapos, yun nga lang, na-encounter niya the mom, and the mom actually had this kind of attitude na, let's just say, unbearable. So, I believe all of you knew, and the rest of our listeners, for your information, she stepped out of the venue, she stepped out of the room, and took a cab going back home without even thinking of, she's not being paid yet at all, but she has somehow, let's just say 1/4 of the job has already been done kasi naayos na yung program na lahat and planned with the client. But then again, because of what the client did to her, she was disrespected, she was shouted at, she was talagang lambasted. So that we do not deserve that. So again, as a lesson, let's secure ourselves before we go through any details, before we go through any any plans, whatever with the client. Hey, hold on to your horses. Book me first, sign up first, and then we'll discuss the details.
Yes, I have to agree with that, Miss Beth. Kasi I learned that through the workshop. Kasi it makes you become more professional when it comes to your services, and you are telling to your customer that they are first, but we are also here to serve you in such a way that we have agreed upon. So para at least naman malinaw para sa inyong dalawa na kahit na anong mangyari, you are still there for your client. Diba?
That's right. That's right.
You don't deserve to be treated that way.
You can't buy class.
Yes, exactly. And Nadine has class.
Yes.
I like her so much.
Yes. And go ahead.
When we talk about, because right now the topic is all about customer service, and part of the customer service wow experience is that when they do contract you as a host, people are actually wowed when you're very, very professional by precisely by having a signed contract, even if we're friends. Signed contract. Let's do this the professional way, because and one way nga of saying magkaibigan naman tayo, the way to pivot that conversation is actually to say precisely magkaibigan tayo. I want to treat you with the highest level of professionalism that I can give. I'm not going to enter into this thinking na kaibigan lang to, kinalakal ko lang to sa gilid. No, I will treat you like a professional. Because if you go to a doctor who's a friend, you want the doctor to treat you with the highest level of professionalism. Hindi yung ibabaliwala lang kita kasi kaibigan kita, diba? Okay lang yan. Let's not be too serious about your treatment. Pwede mo sabihin ng doktor yun sa pasyente niya. Because you're my friend, let's not be too serious about it, diba? No.
Tahi-tahi pa, stapler na lang.
Stapler na lang. Ito naman tayo diba?
Sabihin ng doktor, nag-iinarte ka lang, friend.
Pero because we are friends, precisely, I will even hold myself to a higher level of professional expertise with you.
Yes. Tama naman. Baliktad kasi talaga minsan ng Filipino.
Yes.
It's the culture.
Minsan, totoo, because of the culture. But then again, it's mali. So we have to, now that we know that it should be treated that way, we should be the ones parang spearheading this kind of culture na. It is the correct one to treat.
I mean, I must congratulate you guys for putting up this microphone club thing, because I think this has been a need talaga na parang there's so many people out there who are amazing hosts, but because they don't know the ins and out, and nobody has ever, there's no mentoring that occurs in this particular scenario, and I remember Jem was telling me that he's invited to observe, he's mentored on this, and wow, that's such an amazing thing. It's such a good public service, because hosting is such a viable business that you can actually grow in this career, but you gotta treat it like a profession. You cannot just treat it like baliwala, ano lang to, passion ko lang to. Hindi. Hobby ko lang to. Diba? Parang paper towel lang to, kaya knitting, diba? Pag mapili ko siya, gagawin ko siya. Pag ayaw ko, diba, hindi ko gagawin. Pero minsan nga hindi mo feel Minsan sa araw ng booking mo, baka masama gising mo doon, baka hindi maganda yung health mo at that moment. Maybe you had a personal drama at the side. But as professional, you show up.
Yes.
You show up. That's it.
No matter what happens. Yes. Totoo yun.
That's great.
So anyways, thank you for that insight. At saka nag-enjoy ang ating mga listeners.
Nakaka-relate sila.
Lumilipad yung mga thumbs up saka yung mga hearts dun sa...
yun nagliliparan sila lahat. Puro mga thumbs up and hearts. And sabi ni Giru, last hosting ko, yung mga butterflies lumipad sa lights. Grabe, nasunog. So, nangamoy sa venue. Another one that I always... Exactly. Sabi rin ni Girun, I always ask my clients what are the things that I cannot say or not allowed to. Totoo naman. Like for example, yung di ba minsan yung parents ng couple, magtatap yung mga kamag-anak, yung pala, we didn't know.
Wala eh.
Separated.
Gabe also shared that in our feed today.
Ayan talaga. Yan. The same. Kaya sabi ko, yan. So, totoo, which is actually, before we venture into that, in the actual, we have to ask history.
Yeah, it's being sensitive.
Are your parents okay? It's parang minsan nakakayang tanungin, but we have to. Kasi sa mag-make ng mistake on the actual event.
Right. That's also us looking after ourselves.
Exactly. So,
or bakit iba apelyido nila? Diba? Kailangan mo tanungin yun eh.
Exactly.
Minsan kasi nadyajahe tayo eh. Parang
sabihin nila parang nanghihimasok tayo.
But you need to find that out eh.
Sorry I'm sorry but I really have to ask this professionally. But I noticed that your surname is different from. How is it
How do I address that?
Yes, exactly. May mga ganun. Minsan naman pagka Miss Vet, pwede bang wag na lang. Okay, so I'll just mention you by the first name. Is that okay?
First name na lang. That's the safest.
So sabi ni Michelle, more kwento and thanks and talaga gusto nila ng kwento.
Kwento talaga.
Isang buong araw nga pagkwentuhin natin si Francis.
Pero si Francis, I'd like to ask him this. What was the most difficult client that you were faced with? What was the situation? Can you paint us a picture?
Most
parang na ano siya.
What in hosting or in general in life?
In general siguro.
Parang gusto ko pareho.
In general.
Pero right before that, we're gonna
yes. I need some time. I need to think about it.
We're gonna go to a commercial and come right back. You're watching the Microphone Club radio show.
Ito ang DZRJ 8:10 AM. TriMedia, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.
Gusto mo ba ng kakaibang healthy white glow? Yan ang power ng vitamin E sa skin. From Myra White Facial Wash. May natural plant extract and vitamin E beads that gently burst for that healthy white glow in just 1 week. Fresh, mag-Myra White Facial Wash. Yan ang alagang holistic.
Trusted quality healthcare. Unilab yan.
TriMedia Pro Incorporated.
Welcome back to the Microphone Club radio show. Hi, Miss Vet.
Hello!
Yes.
Talaga.
Grabe.
Gulat mo, Akech. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, we would like to thank all our listeners today. Maraming salamat. Happy Sunday.
Yeah.
Maraming salamat
so
sa pagtutok nyo sa amin. Sa aming almost 2 hours of kulitan. At syempre, for sure, may mga natututunan kayo sa aming pagkukulitan dito.
So sabi nila more kwento. That's what we're going to give you.
Yeah.
Kulang yung 2 hours para sa mga kwento.
Diba, kulang, Tony?
Sa dami na experiences.
Balikan na natin si Francis ngayon. Kasi syempre, ang tanong was the most difficult client you've encountered.
Okay, well, it's kind of like a mixture between a professional client and a hosting gig. Kasi parang in this particular event, not only was I the boss of the agency that was running the event, I was also a host of a segment. Parang pinag-host ako ng segment. I remember there was this nagkaroon ng problema, nagkaroon ng issue. As with all events, there will always be mistakes that happen, and there was a mistake that admittedly one of my teams made. but being boss, ikaw yung inaaway ng kliyente. And this was like the worst away I've ever gotten in my life. As in minumura talaga ako. As in, all the bad words you could possibly imagine were addressed directly to me. And I was the head of a company. And oh my gosh, that was the first time I think that is the first and only time in my life that I actually entertained a suicidal thought. As in, like, I really wanted to jump off the freaking building. Ganun ka-stressed ako nung araw na yon.
Okay.
And but immediately after that, I'm also called to host a segment of that particular event because they know that I'm so nakiusap na, can you host this part? So
this is after you got berated.
Even after I was berated.
Wow.
I was berated. So I went up on stage and being on stage, I hosted just like nothing happened. Just like nothing happened.
Professionally.
So how do you deal with it? Of course, it's very painful. It's very, very painful. And I'm not going to lie that I was not traumatized by that particular event. But I think the way I dealt with it is that, number one, you actually learn more from the traumas and the bad stuff than the good stuff that happens to you. So I guess it's a matter of you learning to disconnect emotionally from it, so that isipin mo lang na trabaho lang to,
walang personalan.
Walang personalan nito, 'di ba? At suma total, bilang professional, you will encounter this. You will encounter people shouting at you, screaming at you, parang isip mo, nanay ba kita, 'di ba? Bakit mo pinapagalitan, 'di ba? Pero ano 'yun eh? That's part and parcel of it eh. You learn to disconnect with it, but at the same time, sayang yung opportunity kung hindi ka natuto doon.
Yes.
Kasi we become better hosts not because of all the, good job ka, galing mo ha, galing mo. No, you become better by precisely asking, saan ba ako nagkamali?
Yeah.
I make it a habit to ask nga, galing ang ginawa mo kanina, 'di ba? And that makes you feel good. Okay, yay, amazing, praise the Lord, 'di ba? But I will also want to ask, and as host, siguro we need to ask this question also. Yeah, thank you for saying that I did a good job. Where could I have done better?
Yeah.
Kasi minsan dun mo napupulot eh. Minsan may blind spot ka. Kasi kung nag-isip yung kliyente, meron sila manonotice. And okay yun, importante yun. Kasi that will make you only better.
Yeah, it will help you grow.
Nakakabilib. Di ba, smooth seas never made a skilled sailor.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
At saka may mga times na parang tayo rin sa sarili na may evaluate natin na parang satisfied ako sa naging performance ko, and there are times na parang hindi ako medyo hindi ako satisfied sa hosting performance ko. So that's parang motivation for us to improve more.
Yes. And I believe that's also part of customer service. Kasi sabi nga ni Francis, if you have a blind spot na hindi mo alam and then the customer points it out to you, it's for you to grow and improve para the next time you can better serve your customers well. Kasi they deserve kasi naman our best every time we host, diba?
Again, another lesson in improv that we pick up, just say yes to that, even if it's a critique that you might not agree with it, but because they're your customer, yes, and I'll listen to it. Kasi ano yan eh, at the end of the day, we're not there to just please ourselves, we're there to please them, to make sure that they, and the way for us to constantly be better is just to be open to comments. We have to filter them, of course. We have to ask also other people, tama ba yung sinabi niya? Kasi minsan ang kliyente hindi alam ang sinasabi. So, papaano sa'yo? Then maka-crisis ka na. You need to ask others also. But most of the time, there are always room for improvement.
No doubt. 100%. So, we are talking right now, we're talking about parang things that come into play while you're hosting. Pero, let's say that you've done a good enough job for you to be commended and even be given feedback. So, importante sa ating mga hosts to actually gain feedback from our clients, right?
Of course.
Also to have them actually have a review, like Knife or Tinex sa'yo. Is that ethical? Is that okay? Or if it is, what would be the right way to go about it? If it's not, then I guess.
Siguro kung kaibigan mo and then you have a good rapport, ask it. Pero wag naman on that same evening kasi nag-honeymoon sila. So, ayaw mo na while they're doing their honeymoon stuff, you're saying, what is your feedback to me? Tama. So allow some time for it. But it's okay to ask if they're your friends. And more even if they're not your friends, kunyari you have a contract with them, you can also say that it's part of my personal QA, my quality assurance that I ask all my clients this. I hope you can help me become a better host. That's another wow experience because that's what's gonna make them refer you to other people. Because they're gonna realize na, okay, this is a good host because he's also looking for feedback. That's wow because they will not expect that eh. They're not gonna expect that. They're gonna say na, okay, pag tapos na yung wedding, hindi na kita makikita ever. Okay? Pero if that's your way also of subtly reconnecting with your client and also reminding your client na please refer me to your next client, to a friend who might get married. Kasi suma total, let's face it, the biggest amount of our bookings come from referrals from people, diba? And there's so many of us there also. If you want to rise up above the rest, then that would be an interesting signature that you always ask people, okay, how could I do better next time?
Imagine talking to about 200 people every time.
Yeah.
And out of 200, you get about 10 clients out of that. Yung ganon na lang yung ratioing na lang natin. Pero that's true. This is one bunch of soon-to-be clients if you do your best. And of course, parang always looking forward to a room for improvement.
Yeah.
Good na, no? Yan take note natin yan, mga kamayki.
Yes.
Diba? QA. I'll take note of that.
It makes you...
Courtesy discount.
Yes.
Courtesy discount.
You wanted to say something.
Because it really gives the wow customer experience talaga. Kasi it's out of the norm eh. Diba? Parang people will say wow to something kapag medyo kakaiba but they feel good about it. Kasi I have to agree with Francis when he said that kasi sometimes you don't need to edge the customer or the client na, uy, pa-review naman ako. Kasi they will do it out of their own. Kung talagang magaling ka. But it's a plus if you ask them pa that, what areas can I improve it? Uy, ibig sabihin nun, napaka-humble nitong tao. Ibig sabihin, he or she values his or her own craft para ma-improve niya the next time for his or her customers. I believe it's a good practice. Thank you for sharing that. Kasi as a really a Mikey or as a host, talagang napaka importante nun para sa atin in order to take care of our clients better and to establish good relationship para diba the next time naman hindi naman sila maubusan ng event they can also refer us as well.
That's good relationship. Ayun na connect na doon sa how do you create a relationship with your good relationship with your clients, and do you use any phrase or words for complimentary closing? I mean, you know, again, complimentary closing is when you ask them for QA.
Yes,
that's good really. And again, thank you to all our listeners. Again, ang mga commentaries mga commenters. Thank you so much. I love this wow experience, sabi ni Tommy. And I believe he's from New York.
He's my brother-in-law, actually.
Brother-in-law ni Francis. Hello. And of course, sabi ni Giru, noted. Ako din. Learned a lot today. Thank you. And Janae, actually our VP for External Test. Yes, that's a very good question. We need to ask ourselves, where could I have done better? Yes, to TMC shadowing and evaluation. We do that for our mentoring. We shadow. Pagka libre kami, we go visit the hosting of our other kumaiki, and we somehow observe, and yun, kasi we want to correct one another. To see ourselves leveling up every time. Sabay-sabay kami as much as possible.
That's what TMC is all about. And which reminds me, we'd like to remind everyone that Hosting 2.0, the Hosting 2.0 workshop is happening on October 1st.
See you there.
Yes, the Cafe in Mandaluyong.
In Mandaluyong, yes. I'm going to be
area.
I'm going to be heading heading facilitation. Thank you. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I'm going to be heading facilitation, and of course, I'm not going to be alone. I'm going to be backed up by the greatest hosts then of TMC. We have Mr. Tony Bilaro, we have Miss Jill Ngo, the goddess of belly dance, Christoph Contreras, and hopefully Miss Anna David.
That's
total host.
The total host. Kasi who's the total fuel station. Anyways, hello as well to Daryl Limhuko, a good friend of mine who's actually a planner, and he says hi to you as well.
Hi, Daryl.
And, sabi ni Ma and Cluna, paano po sumali sa Microphone Club? Ayan, pati din si I think someone wants to sign up very soon. Magiging member na rin po ako ng Microphone Club.
Yes, don't worry, we're gonna respond to you promptly right after this.
What you need to do is to just message us sa ating Facebook page, the Microphone Club. Message us there, and we're gonna get back to you definitely, and to let you know how.
Okay.
Diba?
So I think we at this point, ladies and gentlemen, 11:57, we are going to do our parting shots. Yeah, I know. It feels exactly like that, ladies and gentlemen. It's an awe moment for all of us because we don't want this to end. It's been such a great episode. Tony, any parting shots for all our listeners and viewers?
To all our listeners and bago yan, gusto ko munang batiin ito, baka makalimutan ko kasi.
Go ahead.
To Michelle Morrison and of course, Father Toto Serrada, hello. Thank you for listening. And of course, to all our listeners and viewers, kindly like my Facebook fan page. That's Tony Powers Signature Events Manila. And
Tony Powers Signature Events Manila.
Yeah, Tony Powers Signature Events Manila.
Liking it right now.
Yeah. Yay. And how about you?
Okay. So before I end, also I'd like to say hi to Jepster Togle. He owns also a videography services. So
hey, Jepster.
Jepster Togle Videography, and also Mike and my photography services. And also hi to Loreto Cataros, and also my co-trainees in my work, my housemates, my relatives in Laguna and Batangas. And if you want to book me as a host, you can catch me. You could just email me at gemthehost@gmail.com, where I put the fun and ease in your events. And also you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Gembibo, diba? GEMBIBO. And you can search me on Facebook. It's Gem Mailum, GEMMAILUM. So that's me, Gem the host. And also hi to my sis friends.
Hashtag Gemcy.
Gemcy talaga, yeah.
Hashtag Lloydie.
Lloydie talaga. And also thank you to the TMC core members as well for having us, and of course for always teaching us how to be better hosts and events.
We're also learning from you as well.
Everyone.
Thank you so much.
Everyone.
Thank you.
And of course, Francis.
Yes, thank you very much for having me here. Siguro as a parting word, I just wanna share one thing that I've always believed in, that you have to tailor fit your life to how you want it to be. So as a host, you gotta figure out, diba, what is the type of lifestyle that you want. So therefore, you gotta structure your hosting business around that. If you want more free time to spend with your kids, structure your business around that. Because if your hosting takes them away from your kids, then it's kind of a failure already in itself. So decide what you want. And siguro as I end, I just wanted to also promote some of the stuff that we do. So I'm a partner in 360 Fitness Club. We have 7 branches in all over Metro Manila. So we have a branch in Ortigas, Makati, Alabang, Timog, Manila, Commonwealth, and BGC in the 4th.
There you go.
So I can give free trials to any Mikey. Just send me a message. We'll give you
trials for 6 months.
Do sign up with us, because it's nice for a host to look good on stage as well. We can help you achieve that. I'll also promote Third World Improv. So in Third World Improv, we give improv comedy classes. It teaches you to think on your feet. It teaches you how to improvise, and a lot of stuff is we do in improvise. So please attend any of our classes. You can see us on Facebook, and like me also in Facebook. My name is Francis Miranda there. I think my is Mirandism in Facebook. So just add me. I have a lot of workshops and seminars. I give workshops on entrepreneurship, on clients. I have a new venture with another person. It's called Design Entrepreneur Academy. So we teach young creatives. It's a business school for young creatives. So because if you're a creative person, you're good at creative, but you're not good at business. So we can help you learn the business part of it. So we also have workshops for that. So I also do a lot of stuff for Manila workshops. Next Saturday is Freelancer Fair. Do attend these things. I'm speaking in that one as well.
Get connected with him.
Get connected. I love hearing the stories of people, because I think our life is made richer through stories.
Find him on Facebook, guys.
Yes.
So maraming salamat to Tony, to Gem, Mr.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was fun.
I thoroughly enjoyed this, Miss Vet.
Yes, me too. I did.
So we hope that you enjoyed today's show. Tune in next Sunday for another 2 hours of inspiration, motivation, and empowerment, powered by Pochology Academy and Creative Voices Productions. Once again, the Microphone Club radio show is produced by the one and only voice master of the Philippines, Pocholo de Leon Gonzalez. We are your hosts. My name is Mike Acuña.
My name is Vet Lauzon, together with Tony and Jem. Maraming salamat and Francis. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are always saying that
availability is the best ability. Thank you so much, and see you guys next Sunday.
Ito ang DZRJ 810 AM. TriMedia, ang himpilan ng bawat Pilipino.